We've been discussing this Sefer, Ani Merech Avka, which will soon be coming out in English, as Praying with Joy 6. And Perek Kuf Tes Vav, Perek 115 of Hallel is very interesting because it's divided into two. The first 11 verses of the Hallel, we only say on the first day of Pesach. We in fact say it for the whole Yontif of Shavuos, of Sukkot and Chanukah, but on Pesach we leave it out, the first 11 psukim, as do we do on Rosh Chodesh. Right? So we're going to continue now here from the 12th and 13th verse in Perek Kuf Tes Vav. We say as follows: Hashem Yizreinu Yivarech, Yivarech is Beis Yisrael, Yivarech is Beis Aaron, Yivarech Yirei Hashem Ketanim and Gedolim. David HaMelech outlines here three groups of people. The entire group of Jewish people, Beis Yisrael, Beis Aaron, and then finally Yirei Hashem HaKetanim Ima Gedolim, the small and the big. We could explain that Yirei Hashem Ketanim Gedolim refers to older people, younger people. Ketanim usually in halachic literature refers to those people who are less than 13 for boys and less than 12 for girls. But I believe there's another understanding we could take over here. Because Yirei Hashem, there's an infinite number of levels of Yirei Hashem. A woman once contacted me after Hurricane Sandy, and she asked me as follows. She said, Rabbi, all the Rabbanim are telling me that I should have more emunah. I should have more trust in Hashem as a result of this hurricane and other incidents that have happened to my life. I have faith already. I have emunah. What are they asking from me? I wrote to her back as follows, is that there's an infinite number of levels of emunah. We never reach the final destination of emunah. It's a constant process, a journey that we're going through every single day to come closer and closer and to have more and more emunah in Hashem. And this is the idea of Yivarech Yirei Hashem HaKetanim Ima Gedolim. Right? There's people who are just starting out. They're just discovering what Yiras Hashem is. They're just beginning to turn over this concept and trying to find out and explain and understand what Yirei Hashem is. But there are people who have been doing this for their whole lives, and they become experts in this area. And every single day of their life is a new revelation of what Yiras Hashem is all about. Our sages tell us, in fact, that both Avram and Sarah, they were Boa B'Yamim. They came with their days, right? Sarah lived to be 100, Mea Esrim B'Sheva, right? 127 years old. She was Boa B'Yamim. She came with every single day. Every single day of her life was used to get more and more Yiras Hashem, to more and more fear of God in the world. And this is HaKetanim Gedolim. There's people who have small fear of Hashem, and there are people who have great fear of Hashem. It all depends where you are on this journey. And I just want to finish off with a litmus test we can all take for ourselves to know where we are in the spectrum of Yirei Hashem. The next time you have a tribulation, it might be the doctor tells you you're sick. It might be your spouse gets very upset with you. It might be you have major financial problems. It might be that your children are acting terrible. Any tribulation that we might encounter, what is your reaction? If your reaction is to turn to Hashem with sincere prayer and say, Hashem, please help me, or you say, Ein od milvado, Hashem is the only power that runs the world, or you say, Kol ma'adav rachman l'tavav, everything that Hashem does, He's doing for good, and this will also lead for good. All of these expressions are signs that you are doing well on the path of the Yirei Hashem. You've graduated from Ketanim to Gedolim. Somebody who does this regularly, as the Shulchan Aruch says, L'olam, in section 230 of Orach Chaim, halacha number 5, L'olam ye'adam raga lomar kol ma'adav rachman l'tov. A person should always accustom himself to say, everything the merciful one does, he does for good. If a person is able to do that, this is a sign that on his journey, he is from the Gedolim of Yirei Hashem. If you're not there yet, don't panic. There's still hope. You can still get there, but you need to work on it. You're still a cotton. The graduation from Ketanim to Gedolim is making those statements, your first reaction. Not to panic, not to get nervous, but just to turn to Hashem with one of those statements. Hashem should help us remember this at all times and help us always turn to Him at every every juncture, whenever experiencing difficulties, to be very, very close to him. Amen. Kain Tiratzan.